Hey friend, it's Joanna, and I'm here to motivate you to help you get your head out of your ass. I'm qualified because I get my head out of my ass every day. When I say every day, things bother me. Well, not so often, but when things do, I work on seeing the light of what's going on or looking for my lesson. And some people might say they don't have time to look for their lesson. But you're in here. You're in your body. You're in your vessel. What else do you have time to do? Can't you still be analyzing things while you're working? Yes, sometimes the workload can get pretty intense and you kind of, turn it off or whatnot, and you got to focus on your whatever you got to focus on. But can't you analyze whatever's going on and heal yourself from it? Anyway, don't be don't be a NPC. NPC is a non-player character, right? NPCs are the ones that do the same thing every day. They wake up, do their morning hygiene, eat, go to work. Depending on, they might go to the gym, come home, or don't go to the gym, come home, eat, go to sleep, and do the same thing over. There's nothing outside of that. That's not a very rewarding life. And more than likely, you're not living to your full potential. You're not doing what you're here to do. When I say here, I mean Earth. You're not here, right? And then there's no growth in that. Because remember, Earth is school. We're here to learn and evolve. So if you're doing the same things day in and day out, and it don't allow you to feel good. And the little wins that you may experience don't last long because you haven't done much growth within yourself. You're not happy because then you're back to the mundane things, right? The mediocre things. You're doing the same thing, day in, day out. And then that's when you start questioning, is this life? Is this all there is? No. But then, you become fearful on stepping outside of your comfort zone. You don't know how because you're scared. Because you got so comfortable with your current reality. But then inside yourself is screaming, your soul is screaming, let me out. It's ready to grow. But you're scared and you don't want to move forward because you can't see where you're being led to. And mind you, you're not supposed to see where you're going. You're supposed to have faith. You're supposed to trust the process. You're supposed to be aware enough that there's an energy greater than you that's making all this work. That's making your life even possible for you to be able to live. And it's funny how we take things for granted. You know, we go to sleep without setting the intentions on waking up the next morning. We go to sleep not thinking, okay, Lord, please allow me to wake up tomorrow morning. Hopefully it's not my time to go. No, we just go to sleep just knowing. So if you have that much faith and trust that your ass is going to wake up the next morning, why don't you have enough trust and faith knowing that whatever you are feeling, whichever way you're supposed to go, is the real feeling that you're supposed to go in that route, that way. Right? If something is telling you, if you have this thought that you ought to do something, but it's out of your norm, why don't you trust it? Huh? You trust that you're going to survive the day. You trust that when you get in your car, you're going to make it to your destination. Why? If you have this much, if you just have that much trust into things you do on a daily, why not have trust in things that you don't do? But it takes practice, right? You've been there. Babies, when they're trying to walk and they just keep on falling, they don't give up. There's not too many adults who has the physical ability to walk. There's not too many of us that's just around here crawling around because we're scared to stand up. Right? Babies just kept on standing up because they knew. They're so new. And they had trust without even thinking, I need trust. They just knew to keep on standing up and walking or working on it to eventually get there because they got tired of crawling. But then when we get at a certain age, we become complacent. We just want to stop growing. For what? Why? Right? So what was I talking about? Oh, NPCs. So don't be an NPC. And if you are, and you are aware, see, it's 85% of becoming aware of what's going on within yourself. Because a lot of people are not aware of themselves. We see it all the time. But once you become aware, the 15% is actually doing the work, is actually taking the action to get your head out of your ass, to be different, to change, right? And once you use that 15%, because what's 85% plus 15? That's strength. Right? Can't nobody tell you nothing. But you have to want to become that. You want to, or you want to have that desire to actually become a player that is admired, that is seen. Because the NPCs, we don't see them. And then you know what? The NPCs would then have the nerve to feel some type of way because they're not being seen. Don't nobody acknowledge them. Don't nobody really care about them. But how can you want somebody to acknowledge you or care about you when you're not willing to acknowledge yourself or care about yourself? Right? Right. So, if you are an NPC and you no longer want to be, start showing up for yourself. Start doing things differently. Right? And it could be anything. Anything that's out of your regular routine. I don't know. Pick something. Do something that you like to do that you haven't done. Or that you think is foolish or childish. I like to color. But a lot of people would think, it's a child activity. No, it's not. To the point, there's times where I get triggered or have a craving just to color. And you know what happens once I actually give in to myself, to my inner child? I feel better. It's like a weight lifted off my shoulders, my back. So whatever you like to do, just choose it and start from there. Right? All right, friend. I love you. Work on getting your head out of your ass. Thank you.